Hello there, Lunar Squadron, and welcome back to the channel. Marvel's Wolverine has just received a massive update as a new report surfaced this morning that provides some new insight into the targeted release date for this game, as well as some new details about the overall nature and tone and setting of the upcoming Wolverine game. And today we're going to break down all of this new information that surfaced in this report. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel, we would love to have you as always, and the way to do that, just go down below this video, hit that little subscribe button, the bell notification right on next to it. It will notify you every single time that Andreas and I upload. Now with that out of the way, Andreas, let's go ahead and jump right into this brand new Wolverine report. Ever since the initial reveal trailer for Marvel's Wolverine was released a few years ago, information for this game has been pretty hard to come by. We really haven't gotten much news in terms of this game. The focus out of Insomniac and PlayStation has been on Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Last week, we did make a video after that portfolio from a concept artist who claimed to have worked on the game was revealed, and he had it listed that this game would be releasing in 2024. But if you guys caught that video, we discussed how that didn't seem like a very reliable source for news for this game, and we really felt like this game was going to be releasing closer to that 2025 window. And Andreas, according to a new report that surfaced earlier this morning, if this report is accurate, that does seem to be the case.
That is exactly right, Nick. We received an insider tip from @DanielRPK, and there's a link to his Patreon. I think his insider scoop is behind a paywall on Patreon, but nonetheless, a few different articles have covered the content of his tip, including comicbook.com, which is what we are going to be reading today. The article from comicbook.com is entitled Marvel's Wolverine Report Shares Release Window for Insomniac's Next PS5 Game. And the relevant portion of the article is right here, where it says, according to Daniel RPK, who has had a number of accurate scoops in the past, Marvel's Wolverine is currently being targeted to launch on PS5 in 2025. Compared to Insomniac's work on the Spider-Man series, Wolverine is said to be far more dark in tone. Additionally, the game will see players venturing to the island of Madripoor as Wolverine, which was something that was teased in the game's first trailer. Outside of these broad details, very little remains to be known about Wolverine for the time being. Nick, what do you make of this insider tip? On the one hand, we were expecting 2025 to begin with, but then on the other hand, this seems to be maybe the safest insider tip I've ever heard of. It seems like the tip that this game is going to Madripoor is one of the safest tips I've ever heard of, given all of the different references to Madripoor in that trailer. You had that one poster that literally says Madripoor, and then you have the chalkboard that says the Princess Bar, which the Princess Bar is located in the Lowtown district of Madripoor. So it seems like Insomniac was already telephoning Madripoor to us. So, I mean, how much stock should we be putting into this insider tip here?
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to take a sizable amount of stock in this insider tip, just because Daniel Richman @DanielRPK has been very reliable with his reports in the past with his scoops. Of course, you can't be accurate 100% of the time, but there's really nothing here that stands out as like, yeah, there's no way this is true. This seems very reasonable and a very reasonable expectation for this game. And I, like we talked about in the last video, am expecting this game to drop in 2025. And that is exactly what it sounds like it is going to happen. It just doesn't really make sense to already have Wolverine be ready by sometime in 2024. I mean, maybe they wanted to have it come out in late 2024, but to me, the realistic timeline always felt like sometime in 2025, just because we haven't heard a whole lot about Marvel's Wolverine. And we know just from a few weeks ago, like once Spider-Man 2 is wrapped up, that's when some of the devs over at Insomniac started fully transitioning into Wolverine, like joining that Wolverine team. So it just never really felt like this game was going to be ready in any portion of 2024. And if it was going to be ready in 2024, it wasn't going to be ready until that late, like, holiday release window, November, December timeline, which is basically 2025 already. Like, so I'm expecting this game to come out kind of in that middle portion of 2025, maybe like, mid to early 2025, April, May-ish, but I could see them holding on to it to a later release window just because Insomniac has had so many games come out already on the PS5. They really have been carrying the load for this console on this generation. So if anyone deserves a break or some extra time to get a game done, it is most likely Insomniac when it comes to PS5 games. Now, the other thing that I do want to talk about is the other information that came out in this report that further points to the overall setting and tone of this game. And while it's nothing that is surprising or shocking or brand new in nature, it is just nice to see additional reporting pointing to what we expect for this game. It should be a shock to nobody that according to this report, Wolverine will be far more dark in tone compared to the Spider-Man games out of Insomniac, and that is exactly what we should expect out of a Wolverine game. That just fits his character a lot better than a lighthearted type story or gameplay like you would get out of Spider-Man. And not to say that Spider-Man is lighthearted, but there's more humor and comedy in nature when you're dealing with Spider-Man as a character in comparison to Logan and Wolverine. That's just not the type of character that he is. So it is nice to see this. And what this tells me again is that Insomniac is just staying true to the source material. They are attempting to do the character justice and who that character is and his personality. And I'm so excited to honestly see a more darker game in nature out of Insomniac, because if you take stock of what Insomniac has done across its entire studio's history, they've never really been known for a very dark tone in nature. Ratchet and Clank, wouldn't say those are dark games. Spider-Man can kind of hit on that at certain points, but it's really not a dark game in nature as compared to what a Wolverine game has the potential to be. And when you think back to some of the other rumors that we have about this game, how the gameplay is going to be in the style of a God of War semi-open world third person with a dark nature and tone, this sounds like it's going to be a really exciting game and something that is going to be one of the more special games on the PS5 if it all comes together. I absolutely can't wait for this. And it's just nice to see further reports indicating towards Madripoor being the setting for this game. Like I said, it's not doing anything groundbreaking here in this report, but it's just providing further data points that pinpoint where exactly this game is headed and just backs up the evidence that we already have. So we are at least, at minimum from this report, able to start having at least some sort of basic outline as to what we can expect from Marvel's Wolverine. And for me, that's good enough right now until Insomniac is ready to share more information with us. I would expect to get more information about this game, I would say probably within the next 6 months or so. I think we'll start getting more concrete information. But at the end of the day, it's just nice to have kind of a basic outline and idea of where this game is in fact headed. So we can't say we don't know nothing. We do have some basic premises to go off of with this game.
That we do, Nick. And one thing that I'm interested in at this point is what is the main focus for Insomniac in the time between now and a 2025 release window for Wolverine? If it is a 2025 release window, should we be expecting some Marvel Spider-Man 2 DLC? If you have played through Marvel Spider-Man 2, you will know that there are various loose ends that could be tied up in the form of DLC, so I'm really interested to see what we will hear from first at this point from Insomniac. Will we be hearing a confirmation for Wolverine first, or will we be hearing some more clarity about the expected or anticipated DLC? Of course, I say expected or anticipated because I don't think Insomniac has outright come out and said whether they will be handling some of this material from Spider-Man 2 in DLC or waiting until the next game. I think they are all just intent on taking a breather after the release of this game and seeing the success of Spider-Man 2 play out. But one thing's for sure, there's a lot of exciting content ahead for all of us Insomniac fans.
Yeah, there definitely is, guys. And let us know down below in the comments what you think of this report from Marvel's Wolverine. Again, it's nothing groundbreaking, it's nothing earth-shattering or shaking, it doesn't really change the overall complexion of this game, but it is nice to get some additional data points and evidence that further backs up what we are expecting for Marvel's Wolverine. So this is incredibly exciting. Let us know what you are the most excited for when it comes to Wolverine. Is it playing as Wolverine? Is it that semi-open world God of War style that was rumored? Or are you just excited to visit Madripoor in a video game? Let us know your thoughts down below. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for us for this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, we will see you all next time.